to our traders. Guys, what signposts should investors be looking out for here? And Sarge, I don't see anything really horrific at the moment, except maybe simply that we've had such a long run-up.
I'll tell you what, Liz, you know where I was in 1987? I was about 75 feet over there that fateful day. So I've been in one place for a pretty long time.
Okay.
All right, this is what's going to happen, folks. All right, I think we're in a better spot than we were in 1987, by far. All right, but we're all going to hit some bumps in the road. There's going to be a lot of volatility. Germany is going to go maybe into recession. The ECB is going to have to turn the money machine back on. This is going to push the value of the dollar lower. All right, when this happens, I think we're going to have a little bit of growth here in the U.S. based on valuations, based on increased valuations for equities, whether we have the earnings or not. So what I want the folks to do, avoid pharmaceuticals, avoid financials, get into growth, get into the cloud, get into these names that have the most upside potential while maintaining at least 30% cash.
Okay. You know what? You just laid out your theory about this. I want to get to Scott Bauer. And as we look at signposts, whether they are economic data or just a squirrely behavioral sign from stocks or investors getting nervous. Investors are always nervous, right, Scott? What are you looking for? And do you think that we are headed towards some type of 1987 sell-off?
Well, first off, Sarge, you really just showed your age there. I was a senior in college at the time. That being said, here are the big differences. The economy is not doing well now, just like it was back in '87. You know, we're starting to see some of the weakness from Europe, the weakness from Asia seep in. Big difference, though. Back then, inflation was roaring. It is not here at all right now. In fact, you know, one could almost say we're almost in a deflationary environment. Secondly, and you touched on this, Sarge, we look at the dollar. The dollar was way stronger back then than it is now. So we don't have that issue. And thirdly, the PE ratios of the big major companies back then in '87 were far higher than they are right now. Yes, ours have been lowered recently now, you know, down to the mid-teens, whatever it is right here. But back in '87, they were 20 plus. Big differences between now and then, Liz.
Okay, Phil, where were you in 1987? Here it goes.
You remember, I was babysitting you. You don't remember that?
Thank you. I love you.
There you go.
I think Phil is older than
back
I am.
in '87, a little bit. But I'll tell you, I still remember '87. You know, I was this young trader, and I saw the market crash. This has got to be an opportunity. And you know, I didn't have a lot of money, and I saw these options. I think it was OEX. I forget it, but it was the first like electronic options. And I'm like, I got to buy these. You know, a couple $100 a piece. I'm loading up on these things, and I'm waiting for the market to open. At the end of the day, I'm buying these things. I'm waiting for the market to open higher. The next day, the world's in a panic, but believe it or not, the stock market opened sharply higher. And the next day, and I'm like, oh, I'm ready to sell these options. The problem was the actual market opened, but the OEXs did not because the computer didn't go up. So actually, they were in the money, but by the time they got the computers running, they were already worthless. So
well,
anyway,
and I know you guys are going to ask me where I was in 1987. I was in Columbus, Ohio, dancing on a speaker at a bar named Witherspoon's.
Really?
Beautiful.
Hey, Phil, do you remember
have to look at those
sick
pictures.
feeling? Do you remember the sick feeling, Phil? That
watching the
whole
market
night before,
plummet.
the whole weekend before that crash. Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, you know, and what I remember is just so, you know, before that there was no correction at all. I mean, we were straight up for like 2 years. It was a shoot.
I mean, people have to be watching
champion
these signposts.
for a few more days.